Backseat musicians.
You were talking about the mentality of going up to flirting is the same as not caring what other people say. I'm good, eh? Cool.
Yeah. I just it's more like that kind of thing of if you have to be crazy about what you're putting out, you have to love what you're putting out. You have because if people see that you aren't, they're not gonna go crazy for it.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing. Like the same way. So the reason I used the flirting model was because it's very difficult to flirt with someone if you don't love and understand yourself. Because if you don't, you're going to come up as a bit like incomplete and confusing, and it's going to be difficult for the other person.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
in the context of flirting, it's that from both male and female, both sides, we always like to see confidence.
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
And this is what if an artist, if I watch a performer who's not confident, I'm immediately put off.
Yeah.
What we want to see on the stage, and in an actor, and in a dancer, you know, any of these things, a comedian, anyone that's up there, a president, I want to see confidence.
Yeah.
Because what I want to see in there is something that I don't necessarily have. Even if I'm confident, I want to see someone else as more confident than me.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna make me be attracted to that person. You know, I don't mean. In flirting, obviously, it becomes that's attraction. But I mean,
Yeah.
there's that same thing where you fall in love with the performer. You fall in love with Frank Sinatra.
Yeah.
That swag, that Rat Pack type confidence, and just smooth. You know, whatever it is that you are taken away by it.
Yeah. Actually, I got a funny story about Frank Sinatra. To give you an
Did
idea.
you meet him?
No. But like, like to give you an idea of the level that his confidence was at, Harry Connick Jr. met him, and he tells a story where so Harry Connick sang at Frank Sinatra's birthday. I think like 60th birthday, 60th or 70th, I can't remember.
Okay.
And he forgot the lyrics because he got so nervous, and then when he was walking in the hotel that they were all staying at with his girlfriend, now wife, and he saw Frank Sinatra, and he's just like, and his wife was like, no, don't bother him. He's like, no, I've got to apologize. I can't. It's Frank Sinatra. I got to go. And he went up and he walked straight up to Frank, and Frank was with his wife, and he just went, Frank Sinatra, I'm so sorry, I'm Harry Connick. I sang for you tonight. I got so nervous. I've got the lyrics, and he just like went on this whole rant, and Frank Sinatra just looked at him, looked at his wife, and just went, "You're beautiful." Kissed her on the mouth. And left. The level.
I'm gonna do that next time. Like maybe Ryan or JC's recitals, so like, oh man, I messed it up, you know, after the recital, you're like, you're beautiful. Kiss them on their wet faces.
But you got to do it with the accent. You're beautiful.
Yeah. It's just someone doesn't have the same effect.
Yeah. Oh, but that's nuts.
Because I'm not Frank Sinatra.
Yeah, I know. You see, that's what I'm saying. Like,
No, I know.
but like literally, so that's a guy like when even when like cats talk about it now, they talk about he lived his persona. You know what I mean? And that confidence like just shone through everything he did.
But you see, like I always say this, the confidence is not because of the music.
Yeah.
That your confidence is not, and this is what Kenny Wynn always talks about, is that it's not your worth as a musician is not based on your worth as a musician.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it's your humanness, your life, and a lot of us pride ourselves in our work, whatever it is, like whatever your job is, you know, you find pride in being a great lawyer, being a great administrator, you know, the people that are like amazing at just coordinating things, and you find some pride that you go home at the end of the day and you just successfully did this thing well. But that doesn't define you, and that if then when something goes wrong, because that's what becomes your place of confidence, and when when you're at home or you're with friends, that is the thing that you feel gives you value.
Mm-hmm.
When that does go wrong, which is always going to go wrong, not always, but often things will go wrong, you all of a sudden feel less worth. You know, so if your music, if that good gig is what defined you as being a good musician, that's always going to be a problem for you in your life.
Mm.
You know, as opposed to being irrelevant of your music, you have worth. That your confidence can start there, and that's why they say like meditation and mindfulness and exercise is so important.
Yeah.
Like, whatever it is, like, I know that my confidence isn't attached to my music. My confidence is attached to my physical appearance,
Mm.
and and basically my weight,
Yeah,
my physique, and so like
Yeah.
obviously my confidence not as big as not as strong as it was because I have picked up a bit of weight. And that's also wrong because that shouldn't also be
Yeah, it's just a
a
start.
defining thing. You know what I mean? Like, so it's important to be able to control that confidence.
Yeah.
You know, and if it's something that you don't know how to control, then fix the thing. So for me, it's a fixable thing. It's diet, it's exercise, it's that thing. But I need to like be able to work out of that before I even get to that point. Like, I know that I still want to have a bit of physique, but I need to actually deal with my confidence. Not to say I have bad confidence. I mean, I'm a pretty confident person. But I know that when I was like, if I was really fat, that I would be a completely different person than I am right now.
Mm.
And I was, you know.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, confidence, and then like bring it back to what we're talking about. Lil Nas, the fact that he could promote a song that he doesn't even really care that much about is because he's not basing his confidence on that song.
Yeah.
He's not basing his worth on that. He's like, yeah, I put out a shitty song, but I still want people to see me. I need people to see what I can offer, irrelevant of that. I'm still bringing entertainment. I'm still bringing music to the world, whatever it is. Shitty song, can still dance to it. Like, I'm irritated about the songs. I think it's like it's a nothing song, but it's irrelevant of the fact that it doesn't mean that he's a shit musician. It doesn't mean that he's a shit promoter. You know what? I don't know my ring. I was like, anyways, you know what I mean? Like that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
not his worth.
Yeah, yeah.
So my opinion of that song is irrelevant. It should not even mean a single thing to him, you know, as a person.
Yeah.
And that my opinion of that song should not affect anyone else, really. Because it's my opinion. But it's not his worth.
Yeah.
You know, like Herbie Hancock loves talking about that. That is worth. And that's when you can see someone like when he plays or Chick Corea, when they play with anyone, they're just having fun.
Yeah.
They're not showing off half. Like, how often do you see Chick Corea losing himself and just like going boss on the piano? You're not going to see that often because it's not about that. He's just there. He's like, yeah, but my confidence and his worth is not valued upon, not based upon what other people think of how good he is as a pianist, but the fact that he can create good music. Because those are not the same things. Because there are people that aren't great musicians who can make great music. I'm talking technical levels now. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
our worth, so important, man.
Yeah. And I think like a big reason of why it's so important, I've been thinking about this a lot recently, is that as creative people we have to take risks. Everything is realistically a risk because you don't know for sure. And the thing is that surviving the risk has less to do with, you know, what did the song come out good? How long did I produce it for? It has to do with the fact that you can survive someone not liking your best work. That is an important thing that you have to be able to do.
Yeah. And like we say, like everything is perspective. Like, I know, for instance, there's been songs that's come out which I didn't like because I was in a certain space, not ready to receive that song. You know what I mean? Like I was on a different buzz, or because a lot of time, I listen to music because I'm searching for something. Like I'm actually like trying to find a sound sometimes, you know, going through the top charts or just I'm listening to music with that. I'm just finding nice things that I like and see what's going on. But if someone sends me music, generally you send me, hey, listen to this, and I listen to it, and whatever it may be, if I'm in a different mood and you play that thing for me, I'm probably gonna not like it. Personality, you know. But it doesn't mean that like it was just maybe because like I said, my musical listening these days is either completely just for entertainment and just like, oh, I'm not listening, or it's quite functional. And if you're sending me something which I need to be in a space of like being open, I'm gonna struggle to listen to something, you know. So like for instance, like the Corey Henry and the Funk Apostles, I listened to it the first time and I really didn't like it at all. And I watched performances and I didn't dig it at all because at the time I was looking for something. Um, but then I listened to it the other day in an open space, in a just like, let me put some music on that I haven't listened to before. That popped in my head. I searched for it, put it on, and I enjoyed it. You know, and so my basis for not liking it was circumstantial, you know, and not necessarily. So therefore, if I said to him, if I was Quincy Jones and okay, but if I was Quincy Jones, I would always have to be listening open minded. But I mean, just I said to him, I said to him, I don't like it, you know, and rejected him. And I'm just saying, if I was a big name and if he took that to heart, he would not, and you know, before the album was released, and he took that to heart and didn't push it, he would not have been able to be what he is right now, based on my first, you know. So, just in my own experience, like, not liking something doesn't mean it doesn't have value, and it's not important, you know.
Yeah.
So, like you said, we should not. Other people's opinion of it is irrelevant, because the next person will have a completely different reception to it, you know. And it's really important to just believe in it, like you say. Don't get put off by the one thing. Just keep on pushing it. Keep on pushing it. Keep on pushing it.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, like, it's very trying to be someone else is almost pointless.
Yeah.
So like being yourself makes the most sense.
Yeah.
And yourself will produce this music. So produce this music. If people like it and don't like it, you might come in phases and things. That happens to everyone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That you kind of have to accept the reality that at some point in your lifetime, even after you've made it, people will think you're shit at some point. And that's just the nature of the game, man.
Oh man, I mean, yeah, it's. There's also the difference of like, sorry. There are certain artists that I enjoy in certain ensembles, and not so much in others. Or I like how this pianist plays when he's playing for other people, and I don't like his own albums. Or, you know what I mean? Like, the way that this bass player plays on this project, I like how he plays, but I don't like the project. You know, like, I find that quite often. And so, yeah, it's irrelevant, man. Maybe you're just not in the space right now. Or maybe your thing is not supposed to go to those people, and these people can enjoy it.
Yeah.
But we enjoy you on this other thing in a different capacity. Do you know what I mean? But it doesn't mean that has to be your thing. You know, just because maybe people like me playing, I don't know, let's say folk music.
Okay.
You know, there are a certain group of people that see me in a folk band and love me playing like that. It doesn't mean that that's my only form of expression. Oh, no, I need to become a folk musician. Do you know what I mean? Because then my other project, which is a gypsy jazz project, you know, is a completely different genre. More people maybe enjoy that, or less people enjoy it. Doesn't mean that I shouldn't be doing that, because if that's what I feel, then I should do that. Doesn't mean I have to stop either. You know.
Yeah, and I think it's an important part of what keeps you whole. Like, I know in my mind there are certain things that I know I have to spend some time on, or else I'll go crazy. And Kende refers to it as like watering the garden. So you water them. They'll grow at different rates. Yeah. But you know in your heart that you have to water all of them. You know what I mean? And you have to kind of respect that process in your mind. And so that's again part of the sustainability thing. But
Couches.
Couches.
This one's better than your one, though.
Yeah, it's a lot sturdier.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think like, you know what Adam Ivy's doing is he's sort of like he's taking that perspective, and he has that perspective there of like you can do a lot of things, cool, whatever you want to do this, but then package correctly, promote correctly, and that's sort of, I think that's a key thing. Like I've heard like before I started YouTube, I listened to so many YouTubers talk about YouTube, and like there are people who obsess about thumbnails. Like they like, as in like this guy called Mr. Beast, he's pretty big. He says that like sometimes the video has been done for 2 weeks and I'm still making the thumbnail. It's because of like what because it's what people see.
Mm.
You know, like for example, when I started timing the promotional post for this podcast, when the YouTube link popped up, the image of our logo didn't pop up, and we lost like 30 views a week.
Mm.
Like little things like that, like that they seem small to you, but it's literally that's why I think that's why you have so many young guys in the game, because those young guys are really good at like they can sit and they can picture, okay, cool, so my viewer is going to be on their computer, they're going to be on YouTube, and what are they going to see?
Yeah.
They're going to see this, and this. What are they more likely to read? Are they going to read this title? And how long must it be? Must it be in all caps, all small? Will it be different? Will there be a lot of caps underneath? And then maybe I need to go all small. Or do I need to go caps just small in between? Do I need to have a lot of numbers in it? And then will they see the thumbnail? What will be there? Where in the thumbnail will the time stamp come in, which is the bottom right corner?
Yeah.
So I mustn't put anything there. So then this must be there. And then do I put a big ocean view with me on it? Or do I put myself into acting with another person to explain what the video is about? So in their heads, they're really thinking, oh, okay, Mr. Beast is about to do this. So, yeah, like,
Yeah.
like that kind of thinking goes on all the time. And just in music, you know, you got to be careful how to when you package things with that level of detail. You'll be surprised how things change, which is something I'm working on.
Even Max Martin talks about back in the day when club music was everything. That's how you learned and found new music, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Between songs, it was so important that the first couple of seconds, the song was immediately identifiable, because what that meant was the difference between the floor being full or the floor being empty. So the DJs just pumped a whole lot of jams. People get tired, they start moving off the floor to get drinks. What you want to do is catch them, because they know the song's about to end, you know. You want to catch them before they're completely off the floor. Because if they're off the floor, then they've committed to being off the floor, you know.
Yeah.
So if you listen to all of that music of the 90s, which he was quite a lot a part of, like, the song was identifiable by within like 1 second of, 1 second. You go, goof, and oh, it's Britney. It's Britney, Hit Me Baby One Time. Poof, oh, it's the Backstreet Boys. Whatever it was like, boom, you could tell from the first second. And that first second, besides it being uniquely identifiable, that it drew you in even the first time you listened to it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another thing. It's like, how do you... I was mixing the one song. I finally finished.
Mm-hmm.
Finally finished mixing. I'm done now. I'm completely done. How amazing is that?
It's fantastic.
So then one more song I have to do, which I haven't even started on. And I'm deciding if I'm going to put it on this or just leave it as a single, because I'm feeling so tired. Anyways, so the album, as it was always supposed to be, as the 5-track vocal EP and the 14-track instrumental album, they're done. The one song, I kind of gotten to a point where I really liked it, and then I listened to it from start to finish again. And I realized that the intro was not banging enough.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up, automation is automation is like volume, and most people think volume and panning.
Mm.
Okay, and then like maybe there's one guitar, then all of a sudden there are 2 guitars come in like a section of the song, and you split them so that they become... Because if everything is center, you lose quality of the voices, you lose the quality of, everything. You have to put stuff around so that the voice, snare, kick, maybe bass are really identifiable. If you have more than one kick, sometimes split the one kick around to give you like a, anyways. Panning, automation, volume automation, this section needs to be a bit louder, the piano needs to come up here, that's normal.
Mm-hmm.
But then the other side of it besides that is creating, I also do EQ change throughout the song, so that sections feel a little bit different, but that also that if one section is slightly less dense, that it still feels full. Not by raising levels necessarily, but sometimes by opening up. Sometimes I release the compressors at certain sections to make it feel more open or make it feel tighter.
Mm-hmm.
So what I found was the intro was not banging enough. Like if I sat there thinking, I would maybe change if I listened to it, because it's about 8 5 seconds, 5 seconds of the intro before the beat drop, before the song actually starts.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, it needs to be bright. It needs to sit, And so the EQ is so different. There's a huge EQ difference on the master, and there's like two EQs on the master thing, and they two the EQs because they're two different types of EQs functioning separately, because they're moving like this. And the whole song between intro, verse, bridge, pre-chorus, and chorus throughout the song, even in like not just like copying, they're different.
Mm-mm.
There's times when I take off EQ on the bass, or I EQ the bass guitar differently in different sections as well. Whether it comes to sub, so that the song is moving completely. You'd probably never notice,
Mm.
but it's there in order to capture attention
Mm.
to detail, especially the intro. Was really important. That attention to detail is the difference between someone changing a song or not.
Yeah.
The reverbs change; they're automated. Like in the church album stuff I did, the voice, like dropping delays and reverbs and reversing them in the middle, like of something happening, like stuff like that. There was so much, and that's production and mixing. They're like kind of intertwined in this. In when I'm working like that, it's how do I create attention, keep attention, things moving where reverbs are going left to right. You don't notice like soft stuff, like really, really subtle things, but all of a sudden they're moving. It's cutting out bass notes sometimes that was played, and then I go, no, I don't want that anymore. Take it out. So that all of a sudden you feel like there's a drop, and then oh wait, now there's nothing again. Like creating suspense without changing any harmony, without changing anything, but just removing and changing depth, changing feel, moving things around. Like so in the one song on my album with Jesse. Depending on what I want to do in the song, you record 2 or 3 takes of the same thing so that you have left and right or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So there's times when it's voice in the center, then they split open with something like maybe octave up and down in the middle, but really soft. And then there's times when it splits, boom, back into the center, and then it opens even wider with other stuff in them. Like stuff like that. You're creating constant movement so that, especially if you're listening to it in ears with headphones, you're really getting this movement, which is subconscious, but it's opening and closing and opening and closing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I'm getting your attention. Even the bass is sometimes opening and closing,
Okay.
spatially, which is not something that's supposed to happen, but I just felt like I wanted to do that.
Mm.
And those are like those same things when it comes to YouTube.
Yeah,
Attention
yeah.
to detail, to try and keep them. You can try, you do your best, and obviously it doesn't mean they're going to stay. But
Yeah.
you just do what you can without trying to cut corners. You've got to pay all that attention.